This is a matter of deen. This ilm is a matter of deen. You be careful who you take your deen from.
Brothers and sisters, the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam thereafter, his followers increased in number, and we found that from among the men and the women who followed him, there was not one of them except that they were persecuted on the basis of that. And we found, brothers and sisters, that from them, from his followers, we had individuals who were poor, individuals who were slaves, and likewise we had the noblest from the noble and notable individuals from among the Arab, the likes of his great companion Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and Hamza and others. And so we had all types of Arab following him, and it was not just those individuals who were disadvantaged and who did not have the wherewithal to do anything except follow an individual who claims to be a messenger. No. Rather, we had individuals from all spectrums and all walks of life following the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And many of the companions, they used to say, as was the case with Salman, that individual who went through many stages and followed many religions, that individual who was an idol worshipper at one stage, who was a Christian, who followed Judaism, and who was constantly in search of the truth, he was informed of the coming of a messenger to the region of the Arab. And so he traveled towards that region in order to witness and to meet that messenger that had been foretold. And he mentioned that when I saw Muhammad, I had to ask the people who he was, as he did not wear any garments that caused him to be different or to stand out from the people. And he mentioned that by Allah, I swear by Allah, when I saw him, I knew that this was not the face of a liar. And likewise we saw that the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he began to call, we saw him calling to those characteristics of nobility that every single one of the messengers called to. He called, brothers and sisters, to the affair of Tawheed. And that is that he called initially, and it was the basis and the foundation of his call, that he would call, brothers and sisters, to the belief in one God. That one God alone deserves our worship. That one God alone we should dedicate our acts of worship to. And that we should not give anything from devotion and from dedication to other than the creator of the heavens and the earth, Allah. And it was that caused the dissension between the Messenger Muhammad and his people, as was the case with every single one of the prophets and the messengers. The main issue and the main problem that they had with that prophet and with that messenger was that he would say, and that he called his people to doing away with worshipping the idols, to doing away with worshipping aspects of creation, the sun, the moon, stars, worshipping those messengers that were sent, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and that one should focus and dedicate one's worship to the worship of one God, and that is the creator of the heavens and the earth. And that was the essence of the message of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that I have been sent to you as nothing more than a messenger. I have not been sent to you that you may worship me. Rather, I have been sent to inform you of the fact that your God is one God, and that he desires from you and requires from you that you worship him alone, and that you dedicate and turn your worship towards him. He likewise called to the establishment of the prayer, as that, brothers and sisters, is the connection and the bond between the creation and their Lord. And that is something, no doubt, that every single one of the prophets and the messengers established. That connection between the worshippers, that connection between mankind and their creator by way of prayer. As Allah the Most High mentions in the Quran, "Wasta'inu bis-sabri was-salah." Seek aid with patience. Seek aid in taking care of your affairs with patience and with prayer. And so he called the people to connect themselves with their Lord and to do away with being bondsmen of other men, to do away with being slaves of creation, to do away likewise with being slaves of themselves, and that they turn in devotion to the one that created them and the one to whom they ultimately will return. He called them likewise to giving the poor Jew and to giving and being charitable. He called similarly to the removal of oppression and the alleviation of all types of transgression. He called to justice. He called to uprightness, righteousness. He called to the elimination of debauchery and of every type of lewd vice. He called brothers and sisters to nobility. He called to the tying of the bonds of kinship. He called to righteousness to one's parents. He called and he declared that no man has virtue over any other man on the basis of color, of the basis of lineage, other than by way of taqwa, other than by way of piety and God-fearing. And so with that being the case, we saw that those who had a desire for power among the people of the Arab were from the first to reject his message and to declare him a liar, to declare him one who was a magician, to declare him one who was a poet, to declare him a soothsayer, to declare him a man who was possessed by a demon and so on. And for that reason, Allah the Most High frees him from all of those claims. Indeed, your companion is not one that is possessed. And as Allah Azza wa Jal, the Most High, He mentions in the Quran, فَمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو لِقَاءَ رَبِّهِ فَلْيَعْمَلْ عَمَلًا صَالِحًا وَلَا يُشْرِكْ بِعِبَادَةِ رَبِّهِ أَحَدًا. And whosoever desires the meeting of your Lord, and that was the call of Muhammad, whoever desires and believes in the meeting of his Lord, فَلْيَعْمَلْ عَمَلًا صَالِحًا, then let him work righteous deeds and let him not ascribe a partner with his Lord with anyone. And so while Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was accused of those affairs, he, peace and blessings be upon him, continued to persevere, knowing that those accusations were nothing other than smoke screens. Why did they refer to him as a magician? They referred to him as a magician because they knew that which he was given by way of this Quran and this revelation, that which it had by way of eloquence, the likes of which none of the most eloquent from among the Arabs had seen and witnessed and had heard, that would cause and would be the cause of concern for many. That where would this individual who was illiterate, who had no sermon and no teaching from any of the people of the book, as Mecca at that time and the region in which he grew in, it did not have any individuals from among the people of the book, yani people of knowledge from among the Christians or among the Jews. Rather, that was something that was present in Medina, which was not a region that the Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, had lived in, and was some 350, 400 kilometers away from Mecca. And so, brothers and sisters, they recognize that this individual who was illiterate and who was not known for lying, neither was he known to be untrustworthy, that he would not now come and lie against Allah. And they knew that this individual who was not given to constructing poetry and being a poet, that how could he now have and now utter words that superseded and excelled the finest poetry that was present and that was constructed by the most eloquent of the poets of the Arab. And so this was a cause for concern. Similarly, that when we analyze the message that was present within that Quran, the message that was present within the book that he came with, the message was a potent one. The message was an attractive one. And that combined with the eloquence of the book would be, brothers and sisters, something that would without doubt cause individuals who were present at that time to be inclined towards it. And so in order to erect a smoke screen between Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his message, and that eloquent Quran that he had, and that revelation that he was given, they accused him of being a soothsayer and a magician. Why? That was so that when you heard that Quran, and when you were now attracted to those words, and when you were your heart was inclined towards its strong message, and towards that which was present within it from eloquence, that you would remember that accusation, and that you would remember that claim, that in actuality he was a magician, and that this feeling that I now have of inclination towards him and his message, this that I experience within myself or this affair of not being able to reject his message, this was nothing other than the machinations of a magician, and truly he is a very, very strong and very influential magician, and so they would turn away from his message on that basis. But even though they would accuse him of being so, we found many of the notable individuals from among the followers, from among the tribes of the Arab, that they were inclined towards his message, and many of them embraced. Many of them turned to Islam. The likes of Hamza, the likes of Umar ibn al-Khattab, the likes of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, who were individuals who were, though notable and though well-to-do and wealthy, were from among those who recognized truth and recognized that Muhammad, this individual who was trustworthy and truthful prior to him claiming to be a messenger, would not now come and lie against Allah.